The music video itself conforms to the conventions of music videos of its genre. The conceptual video style of abstract imagery is used throughout the punk and new wave genre, in the videos by such artists like Talking Heads and Devo. But whilst the band that I used was a punk band, and the song itself was more new wave with surf rock with riffs, so I built upon the conventions of these genres. This is shown in the wave montage, which uses iconography is typical of that genre, which is waves, beaches, surfing. And I further explored the genre through use of black and white photography, which was a convention of surf rock videos, though that's probably due to necessity at the time, rather than choice, being the genre reached its zenith in the 50s. This also fits with the inclusion of the iconography typical 50s sci-fi into the video's mise-en-scène, as it stylistically fit the tone of the song, fitting in context with the narrative that I was trying to create, and it was in keeping with the use of these elements in videos of the new wave genre. The example being in Devo's video for Jocko Homo.
We're not Putin, we are Devo.
The conventions of surf rock genre were then skewed to fit in with the punk aesthetic. This was done through placing the pollution as the central point in the beach shots, exemplified in the use of close-ups in the video's cinematography as a means of making the imagery more confrontational, stressing juxtaposition that is created through the use of montage between the images of surf and the beach covered in litter, which is not only hammers home the message of the song, which is a convention of punk videos, a clear message, maybe political, societal, an example being the Strike song Shots Heard Around the World, which promotes Marx's message, but it also explores the more ugly aspects of the location, showing it with the use of litter and pollution. This again fits in the convention of punk videos, with punk ideology as a whole exploring the uglier aspects of topics. Therefore this video may be challenging to the surf rock genre, but it's fully within the conventions of the punk genre. The video challenges Todorov's narrative theory in that the convention of a narrative would entail that they follow the order of equilibrium, disruption of the equilibrium, recognition of the disruption, attempt to repair the disruption, and the reinstatement of a new equilibrium. The video eschews us in favour of presenting disruption and the recognition, but showing no action against this, or reconciliation to form a new equilibrium. The character instead just views this passively in the same way that the audience are, leaving a sense of overbearing impotence. The challenging of narrative convention provides a means of conveying the message of the song to the audience, whilst drawing the viewer's attention to the fact that we're watching a music video. In this regard, it could be described as being postmodern, as it breaks the fourth wall, working off the theories of Bertolt Brecht. This technique was utilised not only to make the audience identify the video's protagonist, but also it evokes similar techniques used in the Beautiful World music video by Devo, an experimental new wave video that challenges the audience to look further through the use of cool show effects in juxtaposition of our idealised 50s visions of happiness and archival footages of atrocities and hate. The representation of the protagonist through close-ups and long shots fit the conventions of the punk genre, which typically feature characters that are outsiders, which is shown in numerous videos such as NoFX's Bob, The Residents' Hello Skinny, and Andrew Jackson Jihad's Coffin Dance videos. The use of long shots stresses the isolation of the character to the environment, whilst the close-ups humanise the character to the audience. In that representation, the video conforms to the conventions of the genre. However, this doesn't conform to the music video theory of the ideal self by Carl Rogers in 1960, being that the character that is presented isn't strong or holds any aspirational qualities for the viewer, therefore it goes against these conventions. Traditionally, music videos of this genre would feature the band in a performance-type mode. However, due to the band I had dropping out as filming started, I had to abandon this. Initially, I intended to film the band in a manner which would have been keeping with the conventions of music videos of the genre, such as Suzy Sue and the Banshees' Hong Kong Garden being a good example. As performance in music videos is typically used to establish the band's star persona, Richard Dye in 1975, I links back to Roy Shuster's theory that music videos are promotional devices, 2001. Even one of my early questionnaire feedback stated that this is the most important element of the music video. By going against this, it breaks convention. The editing of the video isn't quite as fast-paced as that of the other videos in the genre. I decided to go against the generic conventions to try and convey the melancholic, contemplative nature of the song, hence the longer shot length when compared with the fast-paced videos like NoFX's Bob video, which makes extensive use of cross-cutting and generally has a low average shot length. However, given that the punk genre is pretty wide in terms of its subgenres, not to mention the overlap that does occur with the new wave genre, there is therefore a spread in the approach to music videos, with some conceptual videos like mine utilising longer takes and more abstract imagery, such as Death Grips' I'll Break Mirrors My Face in the United States, which uses a continuous long takes throughout the video, or in Talking Heads' Road to Nowhere video, which has a high average shot length. Therefore, it could be argued that the use of long takes doesn't conform to typically the mainstream conventions of the punk genre, but it does conform to the genre's more abstract and conceptual examples. Though the video editing techniques used do conform with the use of cross-cutting and overlays being used a lot in the genre, usually to either move from the narrative aspects of a video to the performance, or to underscore the lyrics with an image, either to create a visual metaphor or to contextualize the lyrics for the audience, as shown in Dead Kennedy's Holiday in Cambodia video. I attempted to develop these and use the overlays and cross-cutting to further the message of the song by creating juxtaposition between the protagonist and the environments around him. An example of this is shown towards the beginning of the video, wherein a medium 360-degree low-angle tracking shot has an image of the industrial factory images overlaid on it. This was used to illustrate the character's state of mind whilst underscoring the lyrics, "A crowd of future stings my eyes." The video features numerous shots of the character walking away from the camera. I tried to use this as a visual motif in textual referencing back to this group chant, which was the early Spun World 1972, as a means of conveying the idea of being constantly unsatisfied. This theme is similarly explored in Talking Heads' Road to Nowhere. In my use of this is to express the song's message through the character's dissatisfaction with the world around him, moving from the natural to an urbanised dystopic vision, wherein natural images are awash with pollution, and even the moon resembles that of an LED light. In a sense, then, the video conforms with Svenny Carlson's 1999 theory that lyrics and visuals interact to create meaning. With a chorus of "Bathe in my moonlight," and there will always be a moon of Marin taking on a more cynical reading, and thus giving the audience more intellectual pleasures rather than visceral and emotional. The theme of dissatisfaction can be linked back thematically to the nihilist, hedonist themes that dominate all of rock music. Within normal rock music, this is the promotion of outlandish behaviour, whereas in the punk genre, this dissatisfaction leads to rejection of societal norms and a challenging of authority. Stylistically, the video makes use of black and white cinematography. This connotes the genre in the fact that many of the videos I've looked at from the punk genre utilise a filtered cinematography. It also fits with this dystopic 50s sci-fi aesthetic that I was trying to achieve, whilst also on adept to Jean-Luc Godard's Alphaville 1965, which used irregular Parisian locations in black and white to try and convey a vision of the future. By modelling some of the cinematography on this, along with Alexei German's Hard to Be a God and Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show, this fits in with Andrew Goodwin's theory on the codes and conventions of music videos 1992, which state that intertextuality is a factor that affects most videos and is featured in many of them, though mostly for irreverent purposes. But then again, there are quite a few that do try and pastiche classic films. For the Digipack, I did some research into the conventions of Digipacks associated with the genre, and for the most part the Digipacks I've constructed conform to the majority of the conventions, such as production information, Dolby Digital logos with CD and DVD logos as well, track listings of barcode, company logos. The grayscale colour scheme fits with the generic convention of the punk genre whilst promoting synergy between the products, and the artwork is using a product that's typical of the nihilist black and white imagery that can be found on albums such as Dead Kennedy's Fresh Fruit and Vegetables and X Los Angeles, though it does lack the irreverent humour that is evident in other punk releasings of the era. For the advert, after looking at various examples of them, it became clear that the majority used a black and white colour scheme. This fit back into what can be considered a convention of the punk genre. Considering I use this colour scheme across my products, this further perpetuates a house style that helps establish a brand identity synergy across the products. This is further established through the use of screenshots from the music video, whilst a generic feature of Digipack efforts is to utilise an image of the artist to bank on their star persona. This is the case with a few of the adverts I looked at, such as the Adamant advert, which shows only him on a black and white advert. It also links back to the low-budget DIY ethos associated with the punk genre, whereby bands had to use their own star persona as a means of self-promotion. However, given that the band I lined up pulled out and I had to use the original song, it was unrealistic to therefore try and get the real band. So I drew on influences from some artists that used iconic images from their output as a means of self-promotion on their adverts, such as Nirvana using the image of a baby swimming after a dollar on a hook. This image has been indelibly linked to the band after its use in the band's breakout album Nevermind, and has since become part of the band's brand identity in a similar way to how a logo might be used. In keeping with this idea, I used screen grabs from the video to create a coherent brand identity across products, whilst using filters on the screen grabs to promote the cut-out, dirty, black and white aesthetic that's commonly associated with the punk genre, and it pushes the DIY ethos, as many of the original punk adverts were handmade and it was the only way of promoting themselves. This therefore sticks closely to the generic conventions of the punk genre.